All right, happy Monday, Team Arrow. We are so excited to have Jessica Wiltshire with us. She's a great friend of mine, one of the best friends that I've met through Isagenix. We are not financially connected, but we have become just great friends. I love her so, so much. She has an incredible story. So I'm going to have her just kind of take over. I want her to share her story with you for those of you that don't know. And she's really going to talk about consistency, long-term consistency and commitment, what it really takes to build a long-term Isagenix business, and stepping up into leadership. Yay!
Hey. Thank you, my love. You know, I love when you ask me to do these calls. I love you so much, and I love your team. So many familiar faces, some new faces, which is so exciting. So cool. So I'm so honored to be asked to even speak. So thank you guys for having me. I will start with my story. I know a lot of you guys know a little bit about me, but I'll just share for those of you who have no idea who I am. So it's almost been 6 years since I've been doing Isagenix. And I kind of cringe when I say that. I can't even believe it's been so long. Like, time seriously flies. Cringe in a good way. I'm just like, where's the time going? You know, I'm like, oh my gosh. It's been almost 6 years in January. I was in New York.
Oh, wait, hold on, Jessica. Sorry. Okay. I need to mute some people. Hold on. Sorry.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So I was a New Year's resolutioner, like when I first started. So anybody else? No? Well, just know that there's hope. In December, there's hope. So I joined in December for New Year's resolutions, just strictly wanted the product. And here's why. What my life looked like before Isagenix was this. My husband was in the military. We were just being stationed to Japan. I was pregnant with our second son, and I had just gone through esthetician school. So I was doing skincare, and only because I needed to help financially. You know, money was tight. I'm not sure if you're familiar with military pay, but it's really hard on one income, and I had to step it up. And I truthfully didn't want to go to work. I wanted to always be a stay-at-home mom, but I also knew I needed to help out. And so I got my license. We had just moved to, we're getting stationed to Japan. And I was really frustrated because I had just got my license, and I was eager to help my husband out and excited to actually start, getting finances in order. Money was always a struggle. Even when I was younger, I just always, people even laugh at these stories I tell. Like, I remember going home and, waiting to see if there was going to be like a eviction notice up. It was always, money was always tight. My car was always getting repoed. It was that type of life for me growing up. And so when my husband also was in the military and money was tight then, I just, we were so tired of just living, with limits and being in debt all the time. So I had to just get to work. But you can only understand my frustration, when we got stationed to Japan, and I'm like, what do I do? I had these plans, we're going to a different country. Can I use my license there? Probably not. I don't know Japanese. Like, what the heck? So much fear and being scared, totally. And at this time, I had just had my second son, so struggling with the postpartum and losing weight and stuff. And my girlfriend had told me about Isagenix, and I was like, that sounds great. We were so broke, and I had still a broke mindset as well, obviously from growing up with all those issues and so much going on. So I was just like, no way, it's not going to work out. But I watched her for months have success. So finally, when I was in Japan, and literally at one of the hardest points of my life, so frustrated and not sure what was going to happen and what we were going to do financially. And, I really, I had the personality to take action and fix things, and I didn't know what to do. And so I just was like, let me just freaking try your stupid thing. I just need to feel better. I started with a bad attitude. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think it was going to work. And I just was so desperate to feel better because I was so stressed out. And nobody really knows this. I don't really share this much of it. I was actually with a different network marketing company. I had just started with them, and it was a skincare company. And I didn't make anything. So compensation plans matter, just so you know. They truly do matter. It was a great product, but compensation plans are different. You can have an amazing product, but a crappy compensation plan, it means nothing. Okay, just know that. So I was working for this company thinking, oh, perfect, I could do skincare and this skincare company and just merge it together and, do my thing. And it was, I made like maybe $200 in like 6 months. It was nothing. I was attracted to that lifestyle though. I was attracted to the entrepreneur network marketing. I never knew anybody who did it well. I never knew anybody who was successful, but I was attracted to it. And so, back to my story in Japan, when I ordered Isagenix, I had zero intention of doing the business. I was loyal. I wanted to stick to my company, and again, didn't know what I was going to do with work, because the licensing and all this, all the things there, just different rules. Anyways, so I started on the product, and just like I know all of you had an amazing success, right? Whether it was weight loss or you felt great, whatever it was, whatever your reason is for wanting to build a business, you had some sort of transformation from the inside out. And I did. And the weight loss came off, but I truthfully felt so good. Again, and I was, just so stressed out, and my weight was just sticking to my body. And when I started this nutrition, it fell off and I felt good. I felt clear-headed. I felt motivated again. I felt like I had hope. And again, my friend was like, well, you can, do this as a business, and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, no, hold up. I am attached to a different company. I'm loyal, like, no thanks. Right? Even though I was making nothing. Okay. Making nothing. I know, Christina, you can totally relate to me. Okay. So, but this is what attracted me to this. Let me tell you, this is an important part. We were so tight on income that things were so bad. My husband was like, I can't keep paying for Isagenix. And so that clicked in my head. So I was going back to my friend, and I was like, okay, just show me how to at least get this for free. That's it. That's all, nothing else. And I'm not even going to I'm not doing the business though, right? You get those people, I'm not doing the business, but I want my products for free. That was me. And so I started posting on social media. I was telling my friends and family, similar to you guys, truthfully, that was like a breeze, getting your products for free. It's not hard to share something you really love, in my opinion. And so I got them for free all the time, very quickly. But when I was getting more money, that's what stopped me in my tracks. And I had to learn about why I was getting more money on this card. It was confusing because I was working this other skincare company like crazy and made nothing. And this company was paying me for posting on social media and telling my mom that I lost 6 pounds. Like, what the heck? And so once I really sat down to learn about the compensation, and Kayla Kraft had a really hard conversation with me, I had to make a choice. And of course, I chose the right one. And I'm so grateful that I did. She was just like, well, which one makes you more money? Which one is smarter business-wise? Like, which compensation plan's better? So that's really why I, dug deep with the compensation with Isagenix, just to check it out. Fell in love and have never stopped since then, you guys. I'll never forget that night because I didn't go to sleep, legit didn't go to sleep. And partially because I was in Japan, and so everybody's awake when I'm asleep in Japan, everyone's awake here. So that's kind of why, because I was talking to everybody and so excited about what I had. I realized I had a gift that I could offer anybody and everybody because I knew people who needed this. And long story short, I started doubling my husband's income within 3 months. And then it was tripling, and then it kept multiplying, and made 6 figures within a year and a half. And it's just been an incredible journey, and which is why I can't even believe it's been 6 years. It's so insane. And we were able to retire my husband early from the military last year, and so he's home. And we decided to homeschool our kids this year, just 1 year, because we're not into this. I don't know, I'm not really, whatever. I'm not going to say anything. Only 1 year because we want to spend this quality time with them. It's our time is everything. And so to me, I want to show people just the freedom in having all your time and you owning it. And It's so important, you guys. Everybody needs this. And so I'm going to talk with you guys about being consistent and leadership and casting a vision for people. And I have a lot of points to go through. And knowing me, I'm just going to throw extra things in there. So get your notes and get ready to write down things. So I'm going to start with being consistent, because this is absolutely key. It's massive. It's key in growing this business. And you, first of all, when you first join, whether it's day 1, day 30, year 3, wherever you're at in your organization, you have to think long-term. I know our compensation plan is amazing. You guys know that, right? And you can make fast money really quick. And you see people taking off and becoming a millionaire in 2 years, a year and a half. Like, there's so many possibilities. But I want you to think long-term. And I want you to think that, oh gosh, how do I say this? Your journey is going to be different than anyone else's. And it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there, as long as you put your head down and you go. And I know it's so easy to get distracted when you're just like, but our compensation plan is so incredible. Why have I not done this yet? Why am I not a 6-figure earner yet? Why am I not this yet? I want you to just stay in your lane and stay really, really connected to like your journey and not get distracted with what everyone else is doing. Everyone's different. And to be honest with you, a lot of the people who run fast in this whole business, they did the work before they even joined, because they had a networking, capability somewhere. Like, they knew people from somewhere to somewhere to somewhere. And that's how they got all these people in. So like, just don't prejudge, or I'm sorry, don't compare yourself. Okay. That's so easy, because we have a massive compensation plan. It's unlike any other. And it's so great that I think people get sucked into that comparison. But being consistent, it means sticking in your lane and looking at your organization only, and just being that person to just stay there and to be there and to keep showing your face, right? Keep showing up. I'm not going to talk about social media, but being consistent on social media is an absolute given. People need to know you're open for business. That's all. That's really it. So, and Facebook is dead. And so I highly encourage doing Insta stories, like legit only. That's where I'm getting all of my enrollments. All of my teams getting their enrollments from Insta stories. People love reality TV shows. So just keep that in mind for social media and staying consistent on there. The more you're in people's faces on social media, the better. Okay. But being consistent. So what does that mean? Like, what do I have to do to be consistent? So what's network marketing? Let's break that down. Network marketing is networking and talking to people. So daily action, consistent action, or maybe you can't do daily. Maybe you work full time. You can only commit to 4 days, or maybe you can commit to 7 days a week. Whatever you can commit to, 1 hour a day, 5 hours a week, whatever that is. First, you have to get clear on what you can commit to and stay consistent with that. So don't feel pressure that you have to show up every single day. I highly encourage it, but a lot of you guys have jobs and other things going on. Stay true to what's consistent for you, but being consistent in network marketing. So that means meeting new people, okay? So like being consistent with sharing your story and meeting new people, and being consistent in that only. That's really true network marketing, not social media. Because you make a post on Facebook or make an Insta story doesn't mean you're building your business. That means you checked into your business and you're open. That does not mean that you worked it. So keep that in mind. How you work your business is meeting new people, networking, sharing your story, and personal development. You guys, I'm sure, have heard that the higher your paycheck is, just, kind of mirrors like how much you've grown yourself. So I know when I first started, you guys, I was a freaking mess. I still am a mess, but I'm a better mess than what I was before. You guys know, I used to always I told you I was getting evicted, my car repoed, like mess. I had a mess around money mindset, and I'm still trying to put Band-Aids and fix that, and it takes a lot. But that self-development is developing me into the person that I'm becoming, and I'm living and I'm working towards the Jessica I see next year, not the Jessica I'm at right now. So you have to be consistent in what your vision is for you. So do you know what that is? Do you have a morning ritual? Are you visualizing who you want to be? What kind of income you're wanting to make? What your life is supposed to look like next year? Like, what do you want to be doing? Like, do you want to be giving $1 million to an organization? What lights you up? What do you want to be doing? Visualizing these things and actually Setting time every day to dream by yourself, whether it's 2 minutes to 5 to 7, whatever, 30 minutes, is so important. And that's how I stay consistent, because every day I show up and I'm just like, okay, visualizing the Jessica I see next year. And I'm not even thinking of the old Jessica anymore, because she's gone. And, you know, she's evolved into someone different. And that's how it is for you guys too. It's like, you know, it's so beautiful, the evolution that happens when you really develop yourself. And staying consistent with it. Again, you guys, I don't want to overwhelm you. It's not like every single day. I know I've said that before, but this is whatever you can commit to. You know your schedule and what works for you. Get clear on that and don't feel any shame on it. If you can only do it 3 days a week, that's awesome. Okay. If you're talking to 5 people 3 days a week, that's 15 people a week. How many people a month, a year? Figure that out. That's a lot. That's good. You know, that's reading 3 days a week, whatever it is, right? So do some self-development, share your story, network. Where do you network? Well, what excites you? You know, like, what do you like to do? Because your customers are going to be at the places that you like to go to. You know, don't go network somewhere that you don't want to be at. Like, I would never go networking at like a sewing class, because like I don't like sewing. You know, I would never go network at like a computer class, because like that's annoying. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not into it. So like I would want to go to like network somewhere where there's a bunch of moms who are looking for growth. I don't know. Or a workout class. Like, that's where my people are. I know they're going to be at Soul Cycle. I know they're going to be at F45. So it's like, I know what type of people to go around, right? So being consistent in those things, saying yes to every party you get invited to, because you never know who you're going to meet. And showing up the way that you show up as if you've already done it, right? So showing up like your dream, like I talked about, who you want to be next year, your ultimate vision. Show up as if you've already accomplished those things. And that's how you're going to attract these people into your life. Does that make sense? Consistency is everything. Everything. People trust you more when you're consistent. They're not going to trust somebody who's flaky and who starts and stops and starts and stops. And, well, I'm struggling with this, or, well, I'm going through marriage problems, like my mindset's not right. Well, get it right. I went through a separation. It's been 6 years of doing this business. I went through a separation, coming back together with my husband, separation again, having a child with someone else, separation again, getting back together with my husband. You guys, my life has been crazy. And thank God I found Jesus, who has healed my life and transformed everything. But my mindset, could you imagine how hard it was to like grow an organization and business going through all these issues that I've had? But I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I want you guys to know what's pulled me is my vision. I don't know why I'm going to cry, but it needs to pull you. You know, if it's not pulling you, then it doesn't mean that much to you. And you have to get so clear, you guys. And if your mindset's not right, you can get it right. You can, open up a self-development book, find a coach, go to an event, not an Isogenics event. If you don't, go there, of course, but there's other events to go to. Find any event that you need to go to like learn and to just get that guidance, right? So your mindset is everything. So that self-development and growing yourself is just massive, massive. So being consistent in that, in your networking actions and sharing your story, you guys will be golden. That's so important. And that kind of rolls into leadership, because being the first person to do these things is everything, especially when you have a huge goal, because who's going to do it for you? Nobody. Nobody is. Of course, we have amazing support. Look around you. You have amazing support in this group. You have Sonia leading these team calls. You guys have support, but no one's going to do it for you, right? And that's okay, though. We don't want people to do the work. How sweet is it when you know that you've done this all yourself, right? So leadership is so important, and it starts from the very beginning. So don't think because you don't have a team of 10 or a team of like 20 or thousands or whatever, you don't have to be a leader. It's choice. Everybody has a choice. So I don't believe it when someone says, I'm just not fit to be a leader. You are, but you're choosing not to be. Everybody can be a leader. What is a leader? A leader is influential. A leader is consistent, trustworthy. A leader is so many things. And what a book that's really helped me so much is John Maxwell's leadership books, all of them. All of them. So which one to get? John Maxwell, any leadership books. Read them over and over. Get audiobooks. they're life-changing. He teaches really what it takes to be a leader, the actions behind the leader, things that are necessary to be a leader. It doesn't happen overnight. So don't put pressure on yourself that you have to be this person and this incredible leader right now. No, because when you're consistent, right? When you're consistent with learning the leadership skills, reading these books, and really exercising that leadership, you're going to learn. And you're going to learn through failure, and you're going to learn through that, really, honestly. And sometimes it's hard. It's not easy to be a leader because you're the one who's kind of going first. It's kind of scary, right? But that's what this is. I mean, that's what this is. You guys are in a network marketing business, and if you have a big vision to grow a big team, that's what it takes. And I know that it's scary, but you could do it, even if you want to start small. So Cleanse Coaching's leadership. It is. Texting your girls, messaging, how you doing? How's your shake day? How's your cleanse day? That's leadership. You're initiating going first. Having a launch party when no one else is having launch parties. Doing a business meeting when no one is having a business meeting, just being the one to be like, hey, I'm just going to do it. Put it together. You guys are all invited. I'm going to do it. That's initiating, leadership is just being that person to see a need and to fill it. Leadership is something, like I said, it's something you're going to be growing with time, and I'm still learning all these things. But to me, when I think of leadership, it's really just having an influence on people. You're not telling people what to do. You're just influencing them to make better choices, decisions, to come along with you and invite them with you. But you're not someone's boss. So, and I know that it's hard, like this is a fine line between boss and being a leader in this organization, because you get these people and you want so much for them to join you in this business, but they're just kind of like tiptoeing and you're like kind of frustrated, right? Like you're just like, come on. And you're just, I know for me, sometimes I just throw my hands in the air, like, I'm not working with you again. Like you're fired kind of. And then they come back like a week later and they're like, I'm ready. And I'm like, okay, so it's just, this is not a boss situation. It's being a leader. And what I've learned is to have no ties, to show people what's possible, and to not have an emotional connection, whether if they want it or not, because I'm a sensitive person. And if they don't want to do it right, I'm just like bothered. It bothers me if they don't want to be a part of this. So you have to have like no attachment behind it to their yes or their no. Anyway, so like I said, I'm rambling. I just like think of all these little things that just pop up. But leadership to me, yes, it's not built overnight. And I just want to emphasize that it's something that you have to work at. And it's through consistent daily action and just being the person to go first and to see a need and fill it. For the vision, you guys, this to me is like, I think one of the, gosh, I can't even say it. It's not even the biggest one, because leadership is one of them, and so is consistency. Vision is just up there with the things that need to happen. And this is how you paint a vision for somebody. Okay. It's just like the product. Okay. It's just like the product. So what do you guys do when somebody comes to you and they're like, hey, I've seen all your posts. You look like you're doing amazing. I need to know what the heck you're up to. Like, I'm looking to lose 7 pounds. What's up, girlfriend? Tell me all about it. Right. So what do? You like talk to them a little bit, ask them questions. Like, that's what I do. I mean, I'm like, yeah, 7 pounds sounds great. Like, why do you want to lose 7 pounds? Like, what would that do for you? How's your energy? Like, you start asking them questions, right? So same with painting the vision. Like, how do you know which vision to paint if you don't know them? If you don't know what they want? Because not everybody wants what I want. Not everybody wants what you want. We all have different visions. My vision was to take my husband out of the military, and now my vision is to give $1 million to my church organization. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Anyway, so like it's always moving, it's always changing, right? And so that's different than yours. Everyone's is different. So if I tell you my vision, you're like, it doesn't mean anything to you because it's not yours. So how I get people to see the vision and to paint a vision is I ask them a million questions. Legit, I ask them a million questions. I want to know everything about them. And it always just depends on who I'm talking to. It depends on if they're already enrolled. It depends on if they're a prospect of mine, because if they're already enrolled, I'm just like, let me show you, this is what it's done for me. And I'm kind of like, more like hands-on and bold, versus if it's a prospect, I kind of just ask a million questions and see when I can slip it in here and there. Because if they're already enrolled, you can just kind of be like, let's just meet on Zoom. Let me show you the possibilities, right? But if they're a prospect, you kind of just want to, you know, kind of not dance around it, but you want to be bold with like a loving way without, does that make sense? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Okay, you guys are nodding. Okay, good. And so it's just like the products, ask a lot of questions. And you guys might think different than me on this one, but to me, this has been a game changer. I stopped pushing executive. I still encourage executive because that's a massive rank that everyone needs to go to make a lot of money. But what I started doing is just saying, let's get your products for free. Like, let's start here. Perfect. Okay, let's start here now. Okay, now that you got your products for free, let's do this. Like, what would an extra $500 do for you? Like, what would this do for you? And I'm starting small. And I'm using quotes because it's small in our compensation plan, because our compensation plan is so massive, right? But to an everyday person, an extra $500 a month is life-changing. And I want to do whatever I can to get those people to see this vision. And right now, this person is stuck on her story, her pain, the time she doesn't have, and all these things that's happening to her. She can't see the big picture when she has had no personal development. She doesn't know the possibilities, right? So I have to kind of start small. In my opinion, that's what I do. And I've had a lot of success with it this year. I started changing my mindset towards it because I was always pushing executive, which is still great, you guys. But I want you to see that like the normal everyday person would just be so happy with an extra $100 a week, $600 a month, $1,000 a month, starting meet them where they're at and start there. Just like me, I did not want the business at all in the beginning. You know, my friend told me about it and I said no, right? And then I was loving the product, so I'm like, okay, let me just get it for free. Oh, okay, let me go a little bit more. Oh, okay, and then I took off, right? So it's like, it's kind of just, you know, some people will just jump in right away and know exactly what they want and go far. But that person might have tons of self-development already, be super into network marketing, have experience, have a network from all these different places to be ready to go. That's like your ideal person, of course. But the normal everyday person, you guys, doesn't get as much self-development as we do. So starting smaller, which I hate saying that because it's not small. It's amazing. It's massive to gift someone that extra $500 a month. Has been something that has helped our team so much. And just showing them like, this is how you make, you know, I had someone today on my team, she's struggling to pay rent. So I was like, listen, enroll 2 premium packs a week. It's $200 a week. You're good. She was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. You know, there's other ways to make money versus executive. And I want you guys to know, get there. It's amazing. But offer these people different things other than executive, because when they're, you know, in the muck, in the mess, they want fast money right now. Okay, cool. Let's get to manager right now. Let me show you. Okay, let's enroll 2 value packs. Boom, $400. Do you know what I'm saying? So meeting people in their where they're at and showing them, of course, what's possible. Always sharing your story. Always sharing your team stories, because stories sell. I could talk all day about my shakes and about all the good things about them and the benefits and stuff, but one story will sell versus me sitting there talking about how awesome our shake is. Always focus on the problem versus the benefits. And so that's what I always do. Stories sell. So focus on that when you're painting the vision. Share your story. Even if you haven't gotten to where you want to be yet. You know, share what your wins along the way. You're more relatable now than you will be when you're a millionaire making all this money, because you're more relatable at this moment, or you know what I'm saying, before you're at your big goal. Does that make sense? People tell me all the time, Jessica, it's easy for you to enroll people. You've done this, this, and this. And I'm like, well, it's not really true. Like, you're just starting and you actually are more relatable than me. So you have a beautiful story to share. Like, don't downplay yourself. And by painting a vision, it's always sharing yours. So when you're doing a launch party, when you're prospecting, when you're doing welcome calls with your new people, are you sharing with them your goals? You know, are you saying, hey, yeah, I just started about 2 months ago. I love it. I feel so great. I lost 10 pounds, decided to do the business. You know, I'm not really happy with my job. I mean, maybe I'd like to do it maybe once or twice a week for fun. But I really just am looking for something to supplement what I'm doing. And that's my long-term goal. I want to spend more time doing things I love. That's it. That's painting a vision. You know, I just made that up, but you know, like that's painting a vision for somebody, sharing that you haven't done it yet, but that's what you're going to do. Yeah, I'll stop now and answer some questions, but that's a little bit of being consistent, leadership, and painting a vision for people.
Thank you so much, Jessica. So I know we're going to get cut off in like 5 minutes. So
that's why I stopped.
I think it would be better because I feel like we're not going to wrap it up in 5 minutes. So I think it would be better if we like hang up and call back, and then we can have the recording, have some of those questions, because there's one thing that I want you to touch upon as well. I really want you to talk about, and I kind of just thought of this, but I think a lot of people who are Isagenix millionaires and whatnot, they do have big networks, or they had like Laura Stevens has like all her best friends from the last 10 years who are all her executives. And I think for somebody that doesn't have that, it's really hard because you're just like, I don't have like 100 girlfriends that all want to do this with me, you know? And I know that your organization has been built mostly by strangers. And so I think it would be so great for our team to hear how that happened. And especially because you did it while you were in Japan and those strangers were in the US, which I think is even more incredible. So I'm going to let you think about that. Okay. Let's hang up and call back, and that way we can record the second part. Is that okay?
Yeah, the same Zoom meeting?
Yes, same meeting. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Everybody hang up because otherwise it won't work.